All right, everybody. I'm here with somebody who probably doesn't need an introduction, but if you want to, you can introduce yourself and just start at the very beginning of how you got into veganism, just the whole thing.
Okay. I'm Milk Jar, and basically what happened was I was in college and I had to get the HPV shot. So I got really sick from that. I ended up I was bedridden for an entire week, but over time my face structure started becoming skinnier. I lost weight. I was also eating sugary foods, so then eventually I kept getting sinus infections and going to the doctor nonstop. And what ended up happening was they kept giving me antibiotics, penicillin, then a stronger one, until I got this headache, and I couldn't get out of bed for like an entire month. So that was absolutely terrible. I was just breathing in steam all day, and just I just couldn't even move. And I went to multiple different doctors. None of them knew what was going on. And then one of the doctors, he was like more of like I guess he was like a hippie in college, but he's like a little younger. He was not the head doctor. He was checking me out, and he told me to change my food a little bit. He didn't really know that much, obviously, in terms of diet, but he's like, yeah, don't have this, it's acidic, blah blah. So obviously it made me think you know, I this food does something to your body. So obviously vegetarianism, veganism was like a thing. So I was cutting out meat, and I was vegetarian, and then within a month I went vegan. And yeah, the problem stopped, but over time I lost weight and everything. And I also went through a bad breakup after I went vegan, and got super depressed, and I wasn't having animal foods or anything. So I started experimenting with psychedelics, and basically I was just eating whatever vegan food I found, vegan chicken nuggets, mock meats, whatever. And so I started realizing when I started tripping, it's you could talk to these entities or whatever. And whenever I would drink water, it would sort of cut off your communication. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why does it do that? And so I started learning about fluoride, all these chemicals, and how they interact with your body and basically cut you off from you know, basically being your full self, whatever, it cuts you off from. But yeah, so over time I just started eating all organic foods, this, that, but it was still nonetheless all vegan. It was fruits, I was cooking vegetables, mashed potatoes. If I were to show you pictures of the dish, it was of the dishes I made, it looks really professional and good quality food.
Yeah.
I tried the supplements, and after 2 or 3 days I was just thinking to myself why would I be taking a pill every day? It just makes no sense why I would need this.
Yeah.
And it also didn't really make me feel any better, so it's I just stopped taking it. And yeah, then after about a year and a half, I got this I don't know, it was something in my lungs, and it was very painful, and I didn't know what was going on. So again, I didn't want to go to the doctor because I was super against it. But after 6 days, I'm just I went to the hospital, and then they just ended up giving me some pill. It was I think it was anti-inflammatory, so all it did was get rid of the inflammation. They said it was mucus causing it, so obviously mucus cleans out your lungs, whatever it was doing. But it killed the mucus, so it worked. So then I'm at the end of my veganism. I have no energy. Probably 80% of my hair fell out. My fucking teeth were very loose. I just had enough energy to go to work, and then pass out after work. And on the weekend I was just absolutely exhausted, so I couldn't even do anything. So it was basically just working and sleeping and just complete depression. So at that point I'm just shit. I'm at the end of my roads. The psychedelics don't heal you physically. You know what I mean? They help you realize some things, but they won't heal your body. So I'm just okay, God, please, give me something, anything. So literally with 2 days later, it was really weird. I got so I my dealer at that time, he was a little nuts, but what's it called? I always listened to what he said, because you just got to be open to everything. And he was just one of those conspiracy theorists, the anti-Jewish, blah blah. He was half Jewish, and he loved Nazis and shit. But he sent me this channel, and then I go on the side portion because I just saw the Matrix movie, and then it's had a red pill section. So I click on that. I didn't even look at half the shit he sent me. and then your video came up. It was like the NWO diet, anti-vegan documentary, and this channel is actually deleted now. I recently checked. I guess it got like banned, but then I watched that. I'm like, I've never seen a anti-vegan documentary. That like I've never seen that. So then you started talking about like meat. You started talking about how like fat. You really need fat. How what else? How like it's better for the environment if you get it from a local farm. I didn't even know any of this existed, and the raw milk and everything. So I didn't even know raw milk was a thing, to be honest. That's how like deep the brainwash is. Like I didn't even know cows are supposed to eat grass. So then I start like researching all that, and then I started basically like a week later. Like I tried. I had my first bite of cooked chicken, and it's like this warmth kind of came throughout my entire body. It's like my entire body just felt warm, and it's like life came to me or something. And so yeah, obviously I needed meat, and then within like probably 3 weeks, I used to make like my own bread. I like made, like I said, I did everything like from scratch, organic, whatever. And what's it called? Like I stopped eating that because I'm like, it just didn't even make me feel good anymore. So I was just on like a meat, I started cooking it rarer and rarer, but it was meat, fruit, and like raw milk, butter. It's basically a Weston A. Price diet kind of. And like that felt better for a while, but it didn't quite do it. So then I read Agenus's book, and I went full raw like a couple months later, and that still didn't do it, but it like made me feel a lot better than the Weston A. Price diet, like just eating a lot more raw meat. And then I added the vegetable juice, the cheese, all that different stuff, and like when I like did everything, it just made me feel like full, it like started really healing me, and the baths, everything he mentions, it was just complete healing. Like all my issues went away. Like when I was drinking the milk a lot, I got diarrhea for 3 months, but I had back pain. So it's like, I guess like the diarrhea went away after 3 months, and so did the back pain. So it's like, you have detox symptoms, and all they are is just healing. It's like, it's all it is. So yeah, that's what ended up happening basically. And now I'm at where I am now, and I healed my body pretty much. Not all the hair grew back yet, and it takes time, but the teeth like tightened up a lot. Just everything like healed up pretty much.
What was it with your teeth exactly? They're literally loose?
Yeah, they were like, you were able to like wobble it. It wasn't like terrible the way Agenus described it, but like they were just they were really loose. And yeah, I think the milk really helped that because of the minerals and stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
But now they're a lot tighter now. I'm not nervous about any of them falling out, so
yeah, which you shouldn't be.
Yeah,
normally. What would you say to any vegans who are watching, who are convinced of the diet or lifestyle?
Hey man, you've never tried this, so like you can't really say anything about this, but I've tried what you guys tried. I tried obviously not every little veganism, like whatever diet with all the spirulina and all that shit, but nonetheless I tried veganism. If you were to straight eat like raw meat and butter and maybe some milk, like no matter what, you're gonna feel good. But on veganism, you'll eventually decay. And on top of that, when you start veganism, you feel great, then you feel like shit. With this, you feel like better and better. Like you might feel a little shittier at the beginning, but like, it's like that one part of your body feels like shit. The rest of it feels like euphoric. And then eventually that shitty feeling goes away, then you just feel amazing. So it's, this is actually healing. Veganism, on the other hand, doesn't heal your body.
What about the vegans who do it for the animals? How was it for you?
I didn't do it for the animals. That wasn't my thing, It didn't matter to me.
Would you say that they don't care about health enough because they only care about the animals and basically mistreat their own bodies?
Well, I don't know about this. The animals, that argument makes no sense, because if you look at any grain field, there's literally a guy on the side with a shotgun like shooting all the birds that come by and try to eat the grain. So like, if I eat one cow that's feeding so many different people, and the cow on top of that, it's not stressed its entire life, it's grazing the grass, nice and calm. It only has less than 5 minutes of pain when you kill it. Its entire life, stress-free, no predators, nothing. They're happy. So I mean, that's just what it is. I think it's a lot less violent than killing these birds or spraying pesticides everywhere and killing like every rodent that comes by with traps. I think it's just a lot more balanced and peaceful.
Were you in any way involved in the community? Did you have any vegan friends or any kind of contacts? Or were you basically alone? Or
Oh.
did you at least watch people on YouTube and so on?
Well, I knew about veganism because of this kid I went to concerts with, but he was like, he still eats all like the processed stuff, so it's like I was kind of alone because I was making all of my own foods and all this different things, so, you know, I never really went to vegan events because, you know, I knew I shouldn't be eating all that stuff because I just ate the organic stuff, even though, you know, you can't just survive off plant foods, organic or not, so.
So there was nobody keeping you in the community, it was just you on your own, kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I was able to just switch to meat like that fast, because like once I saw the evidence, I'm like, okay, like this can't hurt, you know?
Right.
So,
Would you say that most vegans have a kind of religious mindset, that they can't snap out of it, possibly also because of the community? Because I've heard a lot of ex-vegans say that they were afraid to quit because of the judgment from the vegans. Sort of similar to a cult, you could say.
yeah, it's like a cult, a clique, whatever you want to call it. That's how it is with a lot of things, but you know, there's always like solo people. You can't judge it like that, you know what I mean? Because everyone's different, but you know, a lot of people do definitely treat it like a cult, you know? I'm not saying everybody, you know?
Were you colder in winter? Did you feel anything like that? Any kind of symptoms? Or
Oh yeah, I was always even before veganism though. I was always really skinny. I was like 150 pounds. And I couldn't gain weight, and I had a fast metabolism.
Yeah.
Now like I'm fluctuating between 160 and 170, and I gained muscle.
Do you in any way regret going vegan, or do you simply feel like you learned from it and now at least you found the raw meat, or how do you see it?
Oh, I kind of noticed like the more you damage yourself, the more you learn. That's what happened to Agenus. Like he wouldn't have learned like how to basically rebuild his body with food as much as possible if he didn't damage it that much. So I can't say I regret it, but I'm really grateful I didn't get deeper into that, you know?
Right, yeah, and we are all grateful to Ajnas, of course, because he went through hell, and
Oh,
through
yeah.
him we learned so much. It's insane, really.
Yeah, and I'm thankful to you too, because I wouldn't have found Agenus if it weren't for you. So, you know.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, like it's like you kind of bring it to a different picture, because when you add like the evidence with like nicely with the, you know, the NWO documentary, and then you do like the vegan events, it's like funny, you know, but it like
Yeah.
makes you think, you know, so it's like provocative, but it works. So I like that, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah, man. Thanks for sharing your story.
thank you.